Well, you know, before I move on for any further, tonight, just before we did the show, I went out and I said hi to the crowd. It's something I do every night, and I have a spandex suit, and I do a song, and we give out candy. It's an electric performance. And I quickly met some kids who were nice enough to wear T-shirts spelling out my name. Only there's a problem. Can you just guys stand up just for a second? Take a look at this. Yeah, here's the problem. They couldn't get someone to wear a C. You don't have another friend? You just... What were you thinking? Were you thinking that maybe one of you is going to make a C with your hand? How's this supposed to work? Any idea?
We don't know each other.
You don't know each other? You just... So you just didn't have a C available. I see. You know, this happened on Oprah once. People stood up in the audience and went, "Go Pra." Anyway, we're going to find you a C, all right, before the show is over. We'll find you a C. Because just seeing Conan over and over again is... It's making me somehow sad deep inside. But I appreciate the gesture. We'll get you a C, all right? They couldn't come up... Remember the time those two kids were here that are fans of yours and they went, "Go Axe"? Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I appreciate it, though. They tried. That's the important thing, trying. So when people don't try, that's when I become enraged. I do think it's time to move along. We got such a great show tonight. We have so much to do in the first... It's weird. I'm sorry, I'm just going to take this for a second. Hello?
Conan, this is Bill O'Reilly from the O'Reilly Facts.
Oh, hey, Bill, what's going on?
Look, I'm calling to ask you not to do any more jokes about the sexual harassment lawsuit I'm involved in. It's a whole lot of nothing.
Okay, sure, yeah, no problem, Bill.
Thanks, pal. I owe you one. I'd love to make it up to you, take you out to dinner or something.
Oh, that's totally unnecessary, Bill.
Oh, yeah, we don't have to call it a date or anything. You know, just get a few drinks, stop at a Days Inn, see what happens.
What?
Well, you know, we draw a bath, light a few candles, that kind of thing. You'd be sitting in front of me in the tub, and I put on one of those loofah mitts, Conan, massage your tummy with that falafel thing.
Falafel thing? Sure, I'm sorry, this isn't right. I'm just going to hang up right now, okay?
Wait,
I'm uncomfortable.
I'll stop. I'm sorry, I'll stop.
Good, because that was, it made me uncomfortable. It was inappropriate.
Oh.
Is that a vibrator?
No, work that no spin zone, Conan.
Oh, my God.
Conan.
All right, that's enough. I'm hanging up. I'm hanging up right now.
It's mine.
That's not right. He shouldn't call like that. That was unwanted and unasked for. Yes. Can't believe he'd have the nerve to do that. All right, well, as I said, folks, last night was the third and final presidential debate. Probably, seriously, who watched it here? Okay. Wow. You know what's sad? You can't tell at home, but there are 10,000 people in our audience. And 15 just clapped. Well, I don't know how everybody else did it, but like some of you, I decided it would be fun to have a party and with my friends. Just have a, get my friends together and have a party and watch the debate together. And so I got together with my good buddies, band leader Max Weinberg joined me, and our show's announcer Joel Goddard came by. Yeah. And because we all wanted to watch the debates together, and the three of us had a fun-filled evening as we watched the candidates discuss the issues. And the best part is we took a bunch of pictures. And I dropped them off at the photo hut this morning, and just before the show started, I stopped by, and they were ready, and I picked them up. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun if we looked at the photos from our fun time last night in a piece I'm going to call Presidential Debate Party Photos. These are great photos. Okay, well, our first picture is just of me in my apartment before the event. Here I am. I got a pretty swanky pad. That furniture is still good from college. Now, I had 2 hours before anyone was coming over, and I was just planning to straighten up, make some snacks, because I had 2 hours to kill, when suddenly there was a knock at the door. And it was Joel, of all people, yeah. And I said, "Joel, why are you here 2 hours early?" And Joel said, "'Cause I'm a loser." Well, then there was another knock at the door, and it was Max. Joel said, "Ha, look, Max is a loser too." And Max pointed to me and said, "And you're a loser for hanging out with us." We truly felt like the three biggest losers in the world. Reminiscent of our opening, Max. Anyway, we decided to make the best of it. You know, we're just gonna have a good attitude. Max offered to make his famous super sloppy party snack where he takes a bag of Doritos, fills it with ketchup, and slams it against the wall. And Joel whipped up a batch of his bologna and Vaseline sandwiches. And then I carved a bust of debate moderate Bob Schieffer out of Spam. After all this, I noticed only 5 minutes had gone by. I felt like killing myself. To pass the time, I asked Max who he was supporting in the election. He said Kerry and pointed to a button on his shirt. Joel then got in Max's face and said, "Kerry sucks. I'm voting for Bush." Joel then ripped off his shirt so we could see his campaign buttons. Max, yeah, it's better the second time around, isn't it? Max asked me who I was supporting. I said, "Well, you know, Max, this election seems to be one of the most important of our lives. I think it's ignorant to rush to judgment and even more foolish to dogmatically support a candidate before fully understanding his position on all the issues. Therefore, I'm waiting until I can learn more before I commit to either side." Max just stared at me. So I said, "In other words, Max, I'm undecided." And Max said, "You mean you like guys and girls?" And Joel piped in, "Conan's gay." We still had some time to kill, so I suggested we should start drinking. Joel said, "That's great," and whipped out a case of Pabst Blue Ribbon. Max rolled his eyes and said, "Beer is for rednecks and frat boys." He then chugged an economy-sized bottle of Scope. I told both of them they needed to class it up if they were going to spend any more time with me, so I downed a $300 bottle of Chanel No. 5. Well, as you can imagine, after that, we were all pretty wasted. Yeah, that was... You see, when I've been drinking, I don't know how to work a sweater. That's the idea behind that photo. All right, Then I thought it'd be funny if we made a crank phone call. So I called up Ralph Nader and said, "Hey, this is Bob Schieffer from the debate. Why aren't you down here?" And Ralph Nader said, "I can see on my caller ID that it's you, Conan." And I said, "This is Bob Schieffer using Conan's phone." And he said, "It sounds like you've been drinking, Conan." And I said, "Shut up, jerk," and hung up the phone. Max and Joel congratulated me on my really witty remark. And I said, "Well, that's why I'm on TV at 12:30 a.m. Then, very hard time to get on the air. Then, finally, it was time for the debate. Max laughed really hard anytime Bush tried to talk. And Joel showed Kerry his policy of no behind left behind. Then Max did his Bush impression by shoving a pencil in his ear and removing part of his brain. Not to be outdone, Joel said he was going to do his Kerry impression, and then he squeezed his face in a vice. Joel said, "Look at me. Maybe Kerry should be vice president. Get it? Get it?" Then there was a loud popping sound, and Joel's body fell to the floor. Max then removed more of his brain and started humping a lamp. So I grabbed the rest of Joel's beer and switched the channel to the Red Sox-Yankee game, and it was the best debate I ever saw. Very good time. Those are good pictures. Good time. All right, everybody, we got a fine program tonight. We'll come back.